Let's talk about the election threat landscape from sort of a historical or survey standpoint.
Obviously, the foundation of democracy is elections, and elections are also the foundation of trust, which is critical if you're going to have a functioning free society. And so, not surprisingly, elections have always been a battleground for different ideologies. If you go way back to the founding of this nation,
we've had periods in our cycle of political engagement where there was strong anti-government animus. You remember the 90s, where we had Waco and the terrible bombing of the Oklahoma City Federal Building, where a lot of people were just filled with venom against our government. How does today's anti-government fever compare to then or other periods of anti-government animus in our country?
So this kind of federal government, anti-government militia standoffs is something that we've seen, periodically over the last number of decades. But what's been new in the last 6 or 7 years is unlawful private militias are now out engaging with members of the public, not just federal government, in many, many more dangerous ways, and in ways that are, to a certain extent, becoming normalized.
What should we worry about as we look to 2024? And what can we do about it?
What I'm most worried about in 2024 is that people wind up getting distracted or disaffected, don't vote, or that these efforts to engage in misinformation or other kinds of manipulation are successful.
And Mary, that's what Keep Our Republic is. It's a civic organization to teach voters what is important and what the threats are. What's your answer? What should we worry about in 2024?
I think that's why it's really important for people in positions of power with the respect of their communities to be speaking out very clearly about this, whether that's elected officials at the national level, state level, local level, whether it's, media personalities, sports figures, religious leaders, community leaders, teachers. I mean, everyone needs to be united that the way we overcome this is by continuing to pursue democracy, right? Is by having engagement in the public square and voting.
While we are clear about what the challenges are, to make people feel empowered by pointing out that when people do turn out and vote, they can actually move things in the right direction. So at the same time as we warn people about the importance and the threat, we need to make them feel empowered. This is not inevitable, but it does require engagement.